Hello children, welcome to French Learner Group. Today we are going to learn Imparfait. What is Imparfait? Imparfait is one kind of the past tense. It's a way to describe the action in the past, but used in a different situation than the passé composé. It's called l'imparfait because it's talk about action that are continuous, ongoing, repeated, habitual, incomplete or imperfection nature in the past. I have a very easy method for you to learn this tense in an easy manner, and that is Dr. Cat. Dr. Cat method will explain you in what kind of the situation you need to use l'imparfait. So let's see. First, D. D stand for description. Whenever you are giving the description of something or someone in the past, you need to use l'imparfait. For example, le chat était moche. The cat was ugly. In this sentence, you are giving the description of the cat, that how it was looking in the past. So, the cat was looking ugly in the past. That's why we are using here imparfait. R. R stand for repetition. When any action keep on repeating in the past, that time also we use imparfait. For example, j'allais à l'école tous les jours. I was going to the school every day. So here the action is keep on repeating in the past. That's why we are using here imparfait. C. C stand for continual action, which means the action started in past and still continue in present also. For example, il était à Paris depuis la semaine dernière, which means he was in Paris since last week. So from last week, the action already started, he was in Paris, and currently also he is in Paris. So that's why in this kind of the situation we use l'imparfait. A. A stand for age. When we want to tell the past age of something or someone, that time also we use l'imparfait. For example, le roi avait 98 ans quand il est mort. Means the king was 98 years old when he died. So in this sentence we are telling the age of the king, that how old he was when he died. T stand for time, on clock or weather. When you want to talk about the time or weather in the past, you need to use imparfait. For example, il était midi quand nous sommes arrivés. It was afternoon when we arrived. So here we are talking about the time, that it was afternoon when we arrived. Next example is il faisait chaud quand j'étais à Delhi. So here we are talking about the weather, that when you was in Delhi, how was the weather over there? It was hot. So here you are talking about the weather in the past. So that's why we are using imparfait. Now, how to conjugate the verbs in imparfait? For that, you require the stem of the verbs. And for that, take the new form of verb in present tense and remove ons from there. After removing ons from the new form of the verb, the rest part of the verb will be stem of imparfait verb. After getting the stem of the verb, you need to know ending of imparfait, and that is ais, ais, ait, 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 ions, iez, and aient. And these ending you need to add with stem of the verb according to the subject pronoun. Let's take an example of parler verb to understand the conjugation of imparfait verb with the different pronoun sujet. Parlons is the new form of parler verb, and when we remove ons from parlons, we'll get the stem parl of parler verb. This parl is the stem of imparfait form, and with that we are going to add the ending of the imparfait form according to the different pronoun sujet. So let's have a look. Je parle, we add ais, and that become je parlais. Tu parles, and we add AIS and that become tu parles. With il, LO, parle and we add AIT at the end and that become il parlait, elle parlait, on parlait. Nous parle and then we add IONS at the end and that become nous parlions. Vous parle and then we add IEZ at the end and that become nous parliez. Il plural, elle plural, parle and we add AIENT at the end and that become il plural parlait, elle plural parlait. So at last you will get the conjugation of parler in imparfait form like this. Je parlais, tu parlais, il parlait, elle parlait, on parlait, nous parlions, vous parliez, il parlait, elle parlait. This way you will get the stem of regular verbs and then add the ending of imparfait verb to get the final conjugation of imparfait form. But what about the irregular verbs? The stem of irregular verbs are completely different. No need to worry. Here I listed some common irregular stems for you. So let's have a look. First is avoir, which means to have or to has. And the stem of this verb is AV. Next, boire, which means to drink. And the stem of this verb is BUV. Next, conduire, which means to drive. And the stem of this verb is CONDUIS. Next, devoir. Devoir means must, should or have to. And the stem of this verb is DEV. Next is dire, which means to say or to tell. And the stem of this verb is DIS. Next, écrire, which means to write. And the stem of this verb is E with accent aigu, CRIV. Next, être, which means to be. And the stem of this verb is E with accent aigu, T. E with accent aigu, T. Next, faire, which means to do or to make. And the stem of this verb is FAIS. Next, lire, which means to read. And the stem of this verb is LIS. Next, mettre, which means to put or to keep. And the stem of this verb is METT. Next, pouvoir. It means can. And the stem of this verb is POUV. Next, prendre, which means to take. And the stem of this verb is PREN. Next, venir, which means to come. And the stem of this verb is VEN. Next, voir, which means to see. And the stem of this verb is VOY. Next, vouloir, which means to want. And the stem of this verb is VOUL. Once you by heart the stem of these irregular verbs, you just need to add ending of imparfait to get the full conjugation of that particular verb in imparfait. Let's have a quick recap to recall the usage of imparfait. First, to express habitual past action means our habits in the past. Second, circumstances leading up to the main event. Third, background information or setting the stage. Physical or emotional state means you are giving the description of someone's physical or emotions in the past. Time or what was in progress when a main event happened. Weather, conditions and circumstances that form the background of another past action. When you want to make the sentence with was, were plus verb plus ing. When you want to say I was used to do something in the past, you want to use that used to term in your sentence. That time you will use imparfait. Describing event that happened over a period of time. That time also you will use imparfait. Describing repeated event means every Monday, every morning, every summer, every day or daily. Something is repeating every moment in the past. Describing what things were like, what people used to do, how an event was. When you want to tell about all those things in the past, you need to use imparfait. Let's translate some sentences in imparfait. First is I was playing. So in imparfait we translate it as je jouais. Second, you were speaking. So in imparfait we say tu parlais. Third, he used to win. So in imparfait we translate il gagnait. Fourth, she used to drink. In imparfait we translate as elle buvait. We were having. We translate in imparfait as nous avions. You were doing. We translate in imparfait vous faisiez. They were swimming. That is in masculine. So in imparfait we translate as il nageait. They were going out. This is for femina. So we translate in imparfait as elle sortait. When she was young, she played tennis. So we translate in imparfait as quand elle était jeune, elle jouait au tennis. Now it's your turn. Make some sentences now on your own. Write 5 sentences to say what you used to do when you were younger. You can start your sentence with quand j'étais jeune and then rest of your sentence. Hope this video cleared your all doubts about the usage of imparfait. But if you have still any doubt, you can write me in the comment box. And don't forget to subscribe the channel and share the videos with your friends. Thank you. Bye bye. Keep watching and keep learning.